Commander.
Did that blast give me a dunder? Or is some damn stranger walking into my area of operation right after we've been attacked? You got any reason I oughtn't have you shot? Yeah? Well, what exactly makes you so sure of that? Huh. Interesting. Did he say who he thinks did hit us? Not that it matters, I suppose. Not like we can muster a counterattack or anything. But even if I did believe you, so what? Seriously? You expecting me to ring up Auntie and tell her, hello, Maven of all marketing? Just letting you know that this scrutinization officer says everything's hunky-dory. You've clearly been out in the Dorado sun for too long. Ah, an offer for transaction. Now you're talking my language. Didn't reckon you as someone sympathetic to our ways. It just so happens we might be able to trade services. And normally I wouldn't admit this kind of weakness. It's bad practice. But I'm really in the squeeze, and you might be useful. Lately, my luck's been right miserable. I got enemy sneak attacks. I got grunts murdering each other. I got unsanctioned power struggles. And it all risks reflecting badly on me. You cut down the number of issues that are vexing me, and I'll send you a word of peace and harmony up the chain. What's good for me is good for you, see? Quid pro quo. Or, if all that sounds like too much work for you, there are other ways to curry my favor. Make me believe your good intentions. Encourage me to take your side. Absolutely. Bits are a bond that buys a broad bevy of believability. Auntie says so herself. They show sincerity, trustworthiness, and a goodly dose of class. Wonderful. And with your sincerity assured by the bits in my pocket, I feel absolutely confident in your professed innocence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a whole mess of hassle I've got to dig myself out from under. Please tell me there's a damn good reason you're back. That's right, I do. How does solving a murder strike you? There's been a murder at one of our forts. A trooper's accused of poisoning her senior officer for some preposterous reason. Problem is, I'm already short on medical specialists. The last thing I can do is waste one for days just to find out if she did or didn't toxify him. Go find out who done it, and I'll send the message you're asking for. This is gonna make no more sense for me saying it than it's gonna make for you hearing it, but apparently, the senior officer at one of my forts is a mantisaur. A real, actual, pincer-faced, carapace-having mantisaur. Not a half-human one, or a psychic one, or a talking one, just a regular old head-munching mantisaur. Anyways, there's some dispute over who his second should be, and he can't exactly decide himself. So go sort it out for me, and I will gladly send your message. Now, you know that's an irrevocable deal, right? As in, please remember it's legally binding, and I will sue you if you fail to get it done. So don't let either of us down.
Even standing amidst the smoldering ruins of this outpost, the bleeding bodies of his comrades, this fellow thinks only of profit. Auntie's choice is truly odious.
You've returned. Is there a reason you're looking to monopolize my invaluable time? Then why buy...
What in the scrupulous name of profitable deductibles do you think you're doing? Just who are you, and why are you walking through my triage? Some kind of rocket attack, or maybe an orbital strike. Can't rightly say for sure, but it came from above and hit us hard. Don't suppose you're looking for a way to help. I'm absolutely desperate, and I'm sure I could rustle up some suitable reward if you helped. We need compression coils. The attack left more wounded than I have supplies for, plus a hefty amount of Zyranium poisoning. And the coils on our autodocs have worn out. Without them, they can't convert raw materials into the medicaments needed to help the soldiers heal. As many as you can. There's so much more work than I can handle. It's only by getting these 3 defunct autodocs back online that I can hope to save most of these folk. Auntie dropped extra compression coils in pods from orbit to help our advance, but they landed everywhere. Though I heard some are in the no man's land between the battle lines. Many thanks, but please hurry. These folk ain't got much time. You're back. Please tell me you've had some, please.
I've been laid up same as those troopers, and I don't wish that kind of suffering on anyone. Anti's enough. Let's look for those coils.
Hotter than fire. They're on lava, they're on blank plasma, they're on Clive's extra special Borst.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to Hourglass? By calculating the position of every atom.
Where to first, Commander? Memory range, Zyranium Manufactory, or Outpost
The
Opportunity?
Oracle? The one what?
Welcome back. I assume you're not here for that debate. Anything I can do to assist you? Yes, what have you discovered? Oh, you've lessened the load on my mind considerably. And you have the Order's gratitude. Any other updates? Let me know when you need it.
Wonder what we'll find in here. Apart from cultists, most likely.
There best be a stiff bottle waiting for me if I ever
She
manage
sounds
to
pleasant.
make it out of this barrel.
I believe I hear a cultist lying in ambush. Truly low, planning such in a place of rest such as this.
Hey, you! Let me out of here!
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts. despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves. None whatsoever. All I know is that they were planning on killing me by filling my room with Zyranium gas. I was here to help them scavenge for old order technology to further investigate the wonder of the rifts. There is one other thing. I have similar business at the N-ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. Your violent tendencies could be of great help to me there, as I'm sure mine could be of service to you. If you deign to take me on, of course. Nothing that will live to regret, but it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
You're sure, Commander. But I'd watch myself around this one.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kill us some traitors. I can't believe I'm surrounded by idiots. Not you, I mean the other idiots. They betrayed me, they betrayed the Dawn. They need to die. What more is there to know? Who can say what drives those who have clearly lost their minds? You're different than most people. You remind me of me. Such as? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. Such as? Nothing of much worth to tell there. I'd rather hear your story. Why would you accuse me of such? I've nothing to hide. Whatever I do now is sanctified, and the specifics of my past are of no merit. The glorious Dawn gave me a new life, and wiped away the old. As I told you, the Dawn know and seek to spread the truth of the rifts. But it is even more than that to me. It is my life. My world used to be devoid of color. Everything was gray. Now everything is vibrant, like the arterial spray of a freshly opened vein. I wholeheartedly concur. Associating with one such as yourself proves it. What are we standing around jawing for? Such as? It will be for the swine who betrayed me. Oh, you mean the range itself? It's a site for developing and testing N-ray technology. N-rays can be deadly once processed, and they should be fairly contained, though I wouldn't put it past those fools to have meddled with things beyond their comprehension. I just hope they haven't all gotten themselves killed before I've had a go at them. Such as? What? Sorry. Caught me lost in my upper story.
Something tells me this facility does not...
Let weapons grind!
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest. Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends.
0.36 cubed divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by, is it 30 or, oh, hello.
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you. Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body. I appreciate your help. Dying makes it so difficult to see the results of your theses. The crazed people like your friend here have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. Oh, there's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We've an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
Where are you going? Our task here is yet unfinished. There are still traitorous swine drawing breath. I suppose you know what you are doing, but we'll need to return eventually to finish this lot off.
Keep your blood within, Commander!
I believe that device on the counter is the N-ray scanner. Let us hope this is not one of the Order's unstable prototypes.
Show yourself. Worth a look. Straight at him!
No surprise that the Order would contrive such an inane backup system. I hope we needn't solve a mathematical proof if one of us need visit the restroom.
Unfriendly company. They're
Leave at once!
You there. You must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander? Good point. We'll kill him after we get the information.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you, except if you attempt to interrupt my work, you will no doubt meet the same end as your fellows. Leave, and you may yet live.
This guy is hilarious. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes how much more worried he should have been about me than all the other nonsense around here.
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this. Victor, I fully... Dead is... But if we fail... And along... But I...
Sharpen up. Hostiles nearby.
Dare you hamper my ascension with your worthless...
None!
My holdout. I once again ask you to stop. The path ahead is filled with unseen traps. Whether cultists or you will be killed. I cannot afford your interruption. Once more, please cease. I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. I was warned that you would attempt to. You would use subterfuge to sway me. I cannot allow this. I cannot allow our efforts to be in vain. If DeVries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the Order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. You read my terminal. I cannot. No. I deny what you're saying. Whatever my personal feelings, the Order's success is more important. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you. Your verbiage does not conceal the gaps in your knowledge. But the presiding bishop has taught us that ignorance is not a punishable sin. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. But surely, over time, these deviations would subside? Though I do not seek the abolition of free will, no, humanity would do what is best for itself, I'm sure. DeVries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth, and if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued, the one right path for humanity, revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. What? How do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? That's not all this. Helping DeVries, completing the work on my explosives is important. It matters. DeVries agrees. Augustine couldn't have done such a thing. She was on a secret mission at the time. I don't wish to believe you, but what you're saying has the ring of truth to it. I've been a fool going along with this farce. But it stops now. My relationship with Augustine is at an end.
This poor fool seemed intent on doing himself and us both. Impressive work convincing him otherwise. What say I have a go at him with my disemboweling knife? See what he knows. Your loss. Don't like to boast, but I am quite the artiste with a knife.
I believe that's another thanks I owe you. You certainly keep interesting company. I found a way to, via the use of processed N-rays, send objects out of phase. It was inconsistent, but I was close to isolating the procedure. DeVries needed explosives for her plan. By making them unseen, the explosives could be placed as efficiently as possible. No one would be maimed or injured, just killed. Saying that out loud now, it sounds unreal. But somehow, I convinced myself that leaving no survivors was more humane. It's a shame I can't speak to a vicar. I appreciate your consideration. Things could have been very different had your cooler head not prevailed. Here, it is the key to my quarters. Take whatever you find. That will ensure that I cannot use any of it to further DeVries' aims, even if I wanted to. You've certainly convinced me I cannot remain here. May we meet again, when the paths of our lives are at greater apexes. I owe you not only my life, but the sheer knowledge that you've turned me from a terrible path. I will make the most of it. I promise you.
Boy, damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them. The leader of a cell. In this case, that would be Ziegler. And extinguishing him is obviously our next priority. They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. I saw one of them earlier. We should go see what information it will yield to us. I'll mark your map with its location. This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much, but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. I'm right behind you, but not in a threatening way.
Ah, Commander. Caught me cogitating. I was just thinking about making some tweaks to Val. Hoping it'll help. Ha! You know your automechs. All of the above, more or less. Val's old in automech years, so she requires a lot of routine maintenance to prevent her hardware systems from deteriorating further. Yep, gotta fill the hours with something, right? Most times I find working on Val relaxing, actually. Meditative. It's nice being able to identify a problem and just fix it. That's it exactly. Everything else turns into kind of a low static hum. Easier to ignore. Val saved my life after Horizon Point, and she's been saving my life every day since. Partly, I'm just glad to return the favor, even if I am just putting off the inevitable. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time, Yamri. But thanks for stopping by. Victor wasn't exactly the partner in crime I envisioned DeVries to have. Someone with a little more grit. That man back there? Reckon a tough crossword puzzle would have eventually sent him over the edge, even if we hadn't come along. I'm glad we were able to show him a little grace. DeVries obviously manipulated him into acting against his conscience. You ever wonder what might have happened if DeVries had let us in on her initial plan? Surely we wouldn't have been taken in by her rhetoric like Victor. Right? And that right there is why I run a count of all of our incendiary devices every night before lights out. It's just, I look at someone like Victor and see the trap I might have fallen into. True, but DeVries is still DeVries. She's good at deconstructing folks, uncovering their points of failure. She'd have known I had my heart set on being a hero. After Triangulum, all I wanted was to do for other colonies what Augustine had done for mine. Still do, if I'm honest. I will say, it's a lot easier to do just that nowadays. With you around, that is. Thanks for letting me wax for a bit. We can get back to what we were doing now. Unless there was something else you needed. It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Anti-Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out. Glenn, that hammer's a fine piece of weaponry, sure enough. But how much can we trust the hand wielding it? Don't let the luxuriant hair and good looks fool you. I'm flattered. But if there's any match to be made for a Directorate agent, you've just brought him onto our ship. Armed. Arbiters ain't like us. Facts matter less to them than personal judgments. Once the boulder's going, someone's getting crushed. I've seen it happen more than once. Yeah, right up until he decides we need a little judging too. I'm guessing you didn't come here to talk about Rao, though. So what's on your mind? I'm all for giving folks a chance, but a cultist, Commander? Really? Sure, about as harmless as a failing air recycler. Leaving all else aside, the problem is that we don't know this woman, and she's not giving us much cause to trust her. In fact, I say it's just the opposite. All right, Commander, I'll play nice, but only because you asked. Anyway, need something, Commander? Anyway, need something, Commander?
We going to kill Hierarch Ziegler soon? My knife hand's getting itchy. Who can say? There was no indication that I've seen. I've interacted with him on occasion. Seemed a decent, loyal sort. As interested as I am to hear whatever sorry explanation he has, not sure I'll be able to control my rage when I see him to ask why, before I remove his spleen. Maybe I'll start with his gallbladder? No, I think it's gotta be the spleen. Such as? Commander?
Arbiter Rao has been admitted to the ship. This unit will proceed with a Protectorate Welcome Protocol, which may include burning, prodding, and/or light electrical shocks. Agent Ibarra refers to this as somatic tolerance testing and really funny. This unit is available.
We did good by all the folk in Golden Ridge. If we hadn't eased the pressure between the Order and the troops at Outpost Opportunity, the kettle would have blown its top eventually. Instead, the ceasefire can remain in place, and folk can sleep soundly. Thank you. Trying real hard not to be insubordinate-like, Commander. But this Azza, she ain't right in the head. We got enough to worry about as it is, and adding this much chaos to our little crew can't end well. You sure we ought to be helping her? I'll try to keep an open mind, Commander. But if she comes at me with a knife, I ain't gonna be the one left bleeding. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out. So, Arbiter Rao. I can sympathize with his plight to some extent. Dead mentor, apparent cover-up, sure, I'd be mad too. But why do we have to be the ones to help him? Hasn't he got any other Protectorate hullheads to come to his aid? Maybe I ought to spell this out. I'm his enemy, Commander, and he's mine. Letting him aboard is putting both of us in a bad spot. Yeah, but do the rest of us deserve to be put at risk? I ain't just saying this to be contrary, Commander. If he actually agrees to keep the peace, then fine, but I still gotta maintain due diligence. You should too. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out. Could be that he's sincere, or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo or two. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, if Ortiz was among them, I'd want to know for certain before acting. Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. Sure won't, but it could be the difference between an all-out conflict and a strategic reparation. I know which one I prefer. At least we already helped the survivors at Opportunity get back on their feet. Best they can, anyhow. So let's do right by them, by finding out the truth. We should move on, unless you've got something for me? Way I see it. Got something that needs doing,
Can't anyway. Need something.
I find our decision to spare Victor troubling. We've only his word he would not return to De Vries's fold. Allowing him to live is a risk, and an extreme one. I'd hope your reasoning to be sound. That platitude is much more effective in regard to those who would not blow us up. Certainly, I consider myself an open tome. Quite well. I am able to uphold justice wherever it may flag. Bolstered, of course, by your steady support. Was there more in this vein you wish to discuss? She taught me all that I know. Her teaching style was stern, but enlightening.
If ever I erred, she would teach me to avoid making such a mistake in the future. Though she did not raise me from infancy, I was brought into her tutelage quite early. I spent a great deal of my life looking up to her. Her death weighs leaden on my shoulders. We must find her killer and bring them to justice, lest justice in Arcadia truly fall to ruin. Why, he is of the matriarch's direct lineage. Only he possesses the understanding to lead us all. Someone not matriarch ordained would bring the Protectorate to ruin. May his leadership of Arcadia last for many years. I hope someday to be party to his glorious presence. If I had one wish, it would be that he leaned less upon the Consul's guidance. The Sovereign alone knows what is best for Arcadia. Meddlers should not be abided. In every respect, save being humans, and perhaps even that is arguable in the Sentinel's case. Where arbiters uphold justice and loyalty within the Protectorate, the Sentinels operate on its fringes. They are clandestine operatives, little more than alleyway backstabbers. I find them wholly unnecessary. As you might expect, they are the Consul's pet project. Straightforward. I was trained from a young age under the tutelage of Supreme Arbiter Marthana Andros, alongside my co-protege. Only those rated most highly on the Protectorate Acumen test could be placed even among the ranks of arbiters. And to be mentored by the Supreme Arbiter herself was a great honor. Moreover, she taught her proteges to seek out evidence before judging as they saw fit, despite the fact that an arbiter needs nothing of the sort to declare something a crime. An arbiter would never abuse their power. Every action we take is on behalf of the Sovereign and upholding the Protectorate. In any other society, I could see such a scenario resulting in anarchy, but the Protectorate is matriarch ordained. Our devotion is ironclad. Precisely. If the system did not work, there would be chaos, which is why all within the Protectorate must work to uphold it. As the Protectorate's most elite, we proteges needed to be able to think flexibly and adapt to situations that faced us should they require adaptation. At least, I believe that's why. Would that I could still ask her. Alas. Ask, and I shall answer. Who amongst our motley assortment would you care to discuss? I find Agent Ibarra most curious. His system of values differs from my own, but not so much as I would expect. I look forward to understanding him better. He faces an interesting dilemma as an isolated member of the Earth Directorate. As do you, of course. I hope you both remain steadfast to your values. She is an endearing piece of engineering. Her continued functionality, despite her advanced age, speaks to a skilled caretaker, though she retains certain quirks. Earlier, she bumped into my head, bleating, "Please do your part to keep the incognito clean. Remove any and all foreign mineral deposits." She is an enemy combatant, and were I not in your command, I would be honor-bound to bring her low. Yet, she is also oddly intriguing. She does not possess the scavenger's appetite of her colleagues. Perhaps if I came to know her better, I might, find techniques to use against her fellows. She is most certainly a typical Auntie's choice minion, unfortunately. Though overlooking it is immensely difficult, I shall do so to maintain positive relations with yourself. I have absolutely no inkling whatsoever why you would choose to bring a deranged cultist aboard. Aza's kind plagued Arcadia even before the invasion. To be forced to call her colleague is almost more than I can bear. I can only hope she does not see it fit to pilot our ship into a rift to sate her own macabre ambitions. Verily, idle gossip hardly suits an arbiter anyhow.
I'm not going to deny killing these traitors was invigorating, but their leader still needs to be dealt with. That I'm really going to enjoy.
You're obviously unaware that you've been officially marked for death. Otherwise, you'd have killed yourself and saved us all the trouble. It's unfortunate I was unable to inform you of this before you killed so many loyal members of the Dawn. But so be it. Glad we were able to clarify all of that. Well?
I'm thinking I'd normally just kill this idiot where he stands, but I must know what in the architect's name he's going on about. Ziegler, what's got into your brain pan? You used to be a dedicated member of the Dawn. How could you think there was a legitimate kill order on me?
You were revealed as a betrayer through the sanctified channel. How can you disobey a revelation from on high, when you yourself exhorted us constantly to never do such?
You make a compelling point. But then again, so does my knife. Let me introduce you to it. Why the fuck not? You're such the jester, Commander. You actually had me going there for a minute. Now, where were we? Oh, that's right. It's time to stick Ziegler here like a cysty pig on a spit.
Enemy spotted.
I can't believe what Hierarch Ziegler was saying. How could there be an official kill order out on me? The poor fools probably thought they were just fulfilling their duty. Damn straight they should have. If only it were that simple. It should be impossible for someone to infiltrate our communication systems, especially when it comes to a high-level communique. Unless they somehow have our codes. This could only mean that one of our members has been compromised. I have no idea. If I go anywhere near one of our encampments, I'll be forced to kill members who believe they're following orders. Of course, any member of the Dawn who turns on me without thinking is asking for death, but this could still make solving this even more difficult. Don't worry. I'll stay on as part of your crew until I get this all figured. It's given me an impressive amount of opportunities for killing, and all the killing helps me think.
That won't function optimally. Do you have a specific matter requiring discussion with me that cannot be postponed? I'm rather preoccupied at the moment. That's not... Yes, your assessment is absolutely accurate. Making a final decision over what to prioritize in the construction of this trench, given my current resources, has been a substantially more difficult task than I first estimated. correct? In this case, standardized algorithms, which includes a Poisson distribution method, using the data we accrued from years of tracking the frequency of different attacks. Unfortunately, I find myself in the extremely unlikely and stressing position of having these algorithms inform me that every type of attack is exactly equally probable, and thus my dilemma. Many, unfortunately, Auntie's human soldiery, raptidons, mantisaurs, scrappers, and even wild arachnids. In summary, many and varied. Alas, I lack the resources and time. I appreciate your input, though. Auntie's forces have pushed us from our initial trench line into our fallback trench, thus making it the new primary trench. Despite the fact that we are currently holding back Auntie's forces at the new, more narrow front, this leaves us in the unenviable position of requiring a new fallback trench. That being said, we shouldn't need another trench line. Our analysis shows us that Auntie's simply lacks the resources to push through the current front line. However, there is a vanishingly slim chance that Auntie's has more resources in transit outside of the Arcadian system that we simply haven't accounted for yet. Perhaps it would be advantageous to... No, that won't function optimally.
Laboratory mishap and/or miscellaneous unspeakable dangers.
Please call again at a more convenient time.
Hello? Someone there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zyranium Manufactory 7 presently and for an indeterminate time is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the abbot? But we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir.
This is Factor Métaguier. Am I to understand you have orders from the abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
Yes, right over here. You're not getting down below until you talk to me. So, the abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Oh, and I see you have a Protectorate Arbiter with you as well. Of course.
Your casual method of address has been noted. Consider yourself thankful that present company stays my wrath. Some.
Surely. Far be it from me to question the irreproachable prudence of an enigmatic caller. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's choice. One of our transport pods, filled with Zyranium, was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. Though functionally correct, I assure you. The transport pods are fired into space, where they are collected for redistribution. To date, no one has ever misused them for this purpose, despite the explosive nature of the material. Fortunately, we have potentially identified the culprit, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the Manufactory operations. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below, a move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. Both of them? Well, one can hardly argue against thoroughness. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results. May fate and fortune converge.
It evidently originated here. Transport pod full of Zyranium. New outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and flinders. So,
Hello.
has it been classified
Come
as
here
an accident?
often. Goodbye.
Or this unit? What I'd like to know is why our illustrious zero warning beforehand. What are you doing up here? How did you get past the gate? Forgive me. All this business with the lockdown puts one on edge. Everything appeared routine at the time. We launch transport pods into space regularly. They get collected. The Zyranium we refine here is used for power. It wasn't until we heard the explosion that anyone knew anything out of the ordinary had happened. I ran a systems audit on the launch sequence afterwards. Just finished constructing a report on my findings, actually, if you'd like to hear it. A transport pod full of Zyranium was fired from here, at Outpost Opportunity. It subsequently exploded in spectacular fashion. Terminal input functions down below in operations. The low-ranking scientist who launched the pod is inside. Regrettably, that is all I know. Now, if you'll excuse me, may all our efforts add to the equation.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Or good night.
The problem is a low-functioning functionary at best. I mean, just look at this mess. Explosion. Well, running a manufactory must
Initiate Alpha, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at...
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Emergency detoxification initiated. What's her name took over.
I'm not clear to speak with random factors.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. A low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. But I'm now realizing how little we actually know about her. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alva seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. I am so pleased a reliable party is actively engaged. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem. We're still in lockdown, so I take it you haven't shot the traitor yet. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her wouldn't hurt. Presuming she doesn't kill us all in the meantime.
Now, this is important. Would you describe the Varachid's cursor as slavering when it attacks? How much viscous? I don't know anything about the fluids.
Of course she's hiding something. You think those 2 exemplars just fell wrong?
Factor
They're
said that
hardly
on
prone to involuntary self-injury.
Oh, hello. A visitor. Who is it they're sending now? And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire? Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend? Could that be a Protectorate Arbiter? And someone else? Glorious dawn, I take it. Sensational look, dear. All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. Oh, believe you me, I'd like to know that more than anyone. I am thoroughly unaware how anyone would think me, capable of all this. I was apparently at the wrong point in space at the wrong point in time. Really? Do you see me, a saboteur? But don't they always attempt to, flee the scene? I'll tell you exactly what happened. Our transport pod leveled outpost opportunity. I immediately realized someone must have bypassed my terminal. I initiated a lockdown to block further tampering. Had I not, additional attacks may have continued. Now, despite a long record of dedicated service, who's being blamed for this calamity? Me, somehow. I hate to speak poorly of management, but we workfolk around the Manufactory consider the Proctor something of a petty bureaucrat, dear. I assume she's acting as any functionary would, assigning blame to appear in control. Well, you know the type, surely. I've refused a few promotions over the years. Undemanding work provides me ample personal time for my stories. I enjoy speculative fiction. Does that make me suspicious?
For you Protectorate, absolutely. But within the Order, I'm sure you're typically atypical.
Dear me, I wish I did, but... Actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open a path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. Certainly, of course. If you help me uncover who's responsible, I will gladly open this door. Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against long odds.
May all your endeavors add to the equation. Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see Auntie's being too disruptive.
Our Earth Directorate friend.
Well, hello. Have an update to share with Initiate Alva?
Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time. Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. I appreciate even your hesitant support. Now, I believe you had an update for Initiate Alva.
You've examined the launch records, yes? What did you find? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to affect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zyranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think?
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
I expect the Zyranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit. Oh, I'm full of hidden depths, dear, but this isn't the time. Later, I promise. Anything you want to know, from my first science crush to my scientician aptitude test scores. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender. May fate and fortune converge.
Alva's been here for how many years? I never noticed her. Just blended in with the scenery.
Not to be an armchair functionary, but the Proctor isn't even close to approaching the situation in a logical fashion.
If circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Up here.
bureaucrats I've met are fairly worthless, but Svoboda seems to have perfected the art of being an ineffectual slackwit.
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. Strange question, but yes, all commands pass through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way. May all your endeavors elicit expected results.
Unleash my sight upon them!
That doesn't mean we're a while now. Perhaps this conundrum is approaching a solution.
It is difficult for me to tell how strange Alva's situation is relative to anything else within the Order. It all seems equally inexplicable.
Ah, yes. Suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zyranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zyranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, as a fellow student of science, you'll be especially interested in what I have to offer. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results.
Gas is still on, I see. Yes, I have had my fill of stochastic uncertainty today.
Always account for standard deviation.
Oh, hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party, so I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Yes! Now this is definitely taking a turn more to my liking.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you dears to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Her possible involvement notwithstanding, Constance Svoboda is an Order Proctor, and I cannot abide her cold-blooded murder. Especially by someone we clearly know so little about. You are far more capable than some back Manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint. I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department... They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid. I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult assignment. More than that, I have nothing to speak on at present.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. and I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. Yes, you did work for Orlo, didn't you? If the former bishop trusted you to intercede when necessary, I suppose I must as well. I won't stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Not that I was relishing the idea, but you provided other options. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation. I appreciate your practicality. Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Search away, Commander. I shall keep an eye on the weapon hand of our new compatriot.
The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look.
Used to be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors.
The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Very well. I shall return to my quarters. Perhaps I'll use this time to catch up on my reading.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place. Not entirely surprised I had to abandon my cover identity earlier. Knew there was a risk if I took action, but when the attack on the outpost opportunity occurred, I had no choice. I do so hope you'll forgive my thoroughly convincing deception, dear. I'm not so sure Proctor Svoboda was capable of crashing cargo pods into additional Antes installations. Still glad I stopped it. Do you now? Let's hear it. Oh, I am a dedicated member of the Order. Beyond that, there's really little you or anyone need to hear about. Consider yourself lucky. You already know more about me than anyone else I've met in the last 20-odd years. I see you're not going to let this lie, are you? Fine. Suppose I'll elaborate. Slightly. I mentioned before I was part of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. My role there, you may recall, was head intercessor. I was tasked to influence pivotal events, to keep the solving of the equation on track. Something occurred. I needed to step off the board a while. Dorado appealed to me because it was off the board but not completely remote. There I could lie low for a time, but observe. So I'd believed. Our department was shuttered shortly after Ruth Pissar took office. To avoid undue attention, I remained in hiding. To put it mildly, after the incident in question, seeking refuge seemed prudent. May all our travails add to the equation. Did you need something? Inquire away. I may even respond. Sometimes, with purpose. Don't you as well? Do you draw some moral distinction between avenging harm and nipping it in the bud beforehand? Between covert and overt means? When all is said and done, are those in your ledger any less dead than mine? That so? Hadn't thought you'd felt that way. Didn't take you for a pacifist. Just a mite less homicidal. Some were proprietary. Often they involved forms of subtle persuasion, others more overt influence. Now and again, more direct means were required. Whatever's on your mind. Another crack like that, and you might just find out. Our department employed a variety of methods to obviate hindrances and threats to the Order's efforts. We were considered wardens of the grand plan, helping correct it when needed. All of us are part of the plan. We follow the path intended for us by the architect. We should, at least. Now and then, some push back against their path, but it never ends well. Corrections can take time, even delay in the solving of the equation. That's where we came in, to get things back on track in the timeliest of manners. May all... If x is the square root of -1, may the...
My fellow Loyalists, it is time. Due to the Earth Directorate operatives' continued meddling, we must increment our timetable by a factor of hours, not days. Accordingly, our forces have taken over the monastery. Those I predetermined to be resilient to reason have been executed. The rest should not cause us trouble. I have locked the lift to prevent the agent from reaching the monastery, but the following code will grant you access. 34145. I will continue my work from here, supplying Augustine with everything she needs for our plan to succeed, and delaying the agent as I'm able to. May the results of our actions today secure a more prosperous tomorrow for our sacred order.
Swear I can't lie low for 20 years without everything in the Order falling apart. Well, suppose we better head to the monastery now, yes?
Shielded position!
Fortificator at ready status. Did you need something? I'm not... When all is said and done, that so? Some were... Inquire away. Our department employed of corrections can take... May... Agent, what do you need? May...
My fellow Loyalists, it is time.
Seer Wiley isn't very good at this whole seer business, is he? Nice of him to just hand us the code like that. We should remember to mock him for that as he bleeds out.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. Well, regardless, I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts. May fate and fortune converge.
One never relishes saying he did predict a catastrophe.
Grand Architect,
First an attack on the monastery, and now the lift code's not working? Am I misremembering it? No. Unless... Wiley would know this, I'm sure. Agent, oh, thank good odds and high probabilities you're back. There's been an incident. A rogue faction has taken over the monastery. My seer Wiley, is trapped up there with other hostages of the Order. To make matters worse, my access code's not working. Without it, I've no way of calling the lift. Peace talks? Yes, Ruth informed me, but how did you learn of them? No one outside a select circle are supposed to be aware they're happening. That's a serious accusation. Why would I do such a thing? Far from it. I celebrate Wiley's gifts. I recognize he's a far superior scholar than I'll ever be. I can't discuss this right now. The monastery. The truth is, I held Wiley back. I kept him from advancing for my own selfish gains by spreading lies and false concern over his competence behind his back. But I needed him. I still need him. I'm not the savant he is, never have been. If he'd advanced beyond his current role, my deficiencies would have been made manifest to all. I'm sorry, but we really haven't the time to litigate this issue further. In case I didn't make it clear before, the monastery is currently in jeopardy. Representatives of Auntie's Choice and the Order are meeting to discuss an armistice and possible collaboration. It's an unprecedented opportunity to shorten this war. I know I mentioned it before, but compartmentalization is crucial to the success of most of the Order's operations. I wish I could offer more details than that. But I'm afraid I won't be accompanying you. I can't be sure my presence wouldn't alter the outcome of your efforts in prodigious and unforeseen ways. Once you reach the monastery, make your way to the observatory. If the conspirators are seeking the coordinates of the talks, no doubt their efforts will be concentrated there. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you. If only Wiley was here to advise.
I assure you these traitors haven't factored us into their equations. Ready to be the hole in their math?
I am 100% certain that his tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined weight. Probably.
Wait! Look! Someone just came up via the lift. It must be unlocked. Void it all! I told it. Hey! Roger always said he wanted his body donated to the Order if it'd help advance the plan. But I'm sure this wasn't what he had in mind.
I swear, the more he talks, the more pain it makes me want to inflict on his person.
Those junction boxes. The end rays again show how they're wired.
Found another one.
Torpificator at...
Resort to violence.
We'll be
Hostilities are afoot.
Isn't this fancy? Guessing these are the abbot's quarters. I see the good abbot's intent on distracting himself from the misery of existence with worldly goods. Never works.
Onto a test of order aptitude. And whom do we blame? The stalwart agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
I know a stall tactic when I see one. Calls on you, though, dear.
I prefer to kill my enemies first, innocent hostages later.
Entirely depends on your priorities. My former department would say keeping on mission is of paramount importance. But I no longer think I agree.
Definitely not. We should be the only ones killing hostages around here.
Like the cut of your jib. Hard way it is, then.
Raise high probability. Wiley dropped the go, but didn't even give us the chance to...
Let me guess. That safe won't open until we solve this puzzle. Seems like stacking the deck for a predictable behavior analysis.
This must be the so-called puzzle they expect us to waste our time on. Looks like it was constructed by a child.
Ratcheting up by aggression.
Battle charge in process. Enemy
Gun weapon ready, Commander. Way to get the ball rolling. This laborious exercise is obviously intended to consume precious time.
See? Didn't I tell you our friends would be there? Hurry! Disable the cord processing!
Time will tell if that was a good idea. Ratcheting up my aggression.
this. Find the hostile. Standing by this.
Oh, look! A room dedicated to the insignificance of human existence inside a temple dedicated to mathematically proving its pointlessness.
I cannot believe Clemens fell for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. Oh, I think my average walking speed will suffice once I've finished dispatching you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. In a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us, I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. De Vries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The endpoint? No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. My math is correct. My math is always correct. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What more could I have done? Where did I err?
Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs. But all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse. Though I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. It may be. I have no more predictions to offer. Now or ever. Fool I was, to believe I mattered in the plan's grand scheme.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything.
We should get ourselves to those peace talks post-haste, Commander. Wouldn't want to miss out on any of the mayhem and carnage.
Agent, over here. It seems the situation here has been resolved, but I don't see Seer Wiley. Were you able to secure his safety? I won't trouble you to provide more details then. But please allow me to thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery from these conspirators. Without your intervention, I fear this could have been a far greater tragedy. Now, at least, we stand some hope of mitigating the divisiveness in Golden Ridge. You are welcome to collect the experimental weapon inside the observatory, the Oracle. It was Landon's design. Only seems fitting you take it. This key will unlock the case. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan. Go with the plan.
I don't know what you're complaining of. We emerged totally unscathed.
I'd estimate I'm 43.11% scathed.
At least it was a clean dissection. Roger would appreciate that.
Best we start discussing strategy, Commander.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
Should we consider going in with a plan this time? Or is it going to be another improvised free-for-all?
If DeVries succeeds in killing these delegates, it'll be a hell of a lot more than a PR nightmare to worry about. It'll be war.
Yes, and if she doesn't know we're coming, we may have the upper hand. Still, we do well not to underestimate her. She's as good as we are. Well, as you are.
Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised. In the absence of Victor and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander. Confirmed. Per the Earth Directorate Manual, a team formed of multiple agents is vital to success, especially during missions where agent attrition is likely to occur.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of her own Phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
That damn Wiley put us in an impossible situation. I'm glad those hostages can go back to their families, but I fear we played right into DeVries' hands. With that data, she could wreak more havoc than we anticipated. Look, I know the choice is yours on how you want to approach this, but it's my folk in the crosshairs. If something happens to our delegate, I don't know how I'd live with myself. If there's space by your side, I hope you'll call on me. That's all I ask. If we fail to stop DeVries, this will have dire consequences for the war and everything else. So let's not fail, huh? Reckon Victor's a shining example of what happens when you fall in with the wrong crowd. But I'm real glad we managed to talk him down. He seems a gentle sort. Fine by me. Thought it was no on the, but on the other hand, could only be fine by me.
Marisol settling nicely? Well, I assume so. I'm actually a little scared to ask. She's like a character from the Zane and Buddy serials come to life. I mean, the end point? Tell me that don't just scream lead ne'er-do-well in a suspenseful two-parter. Maybe don't tell her I said that, though. Oh yeah? What's needling you? Anyway, need something come.
Marisol Delgado has been added to the ship roster and has claimed her quarters. This unit has also been informed by Agent Delgado that she is not to be disturbed while resting unless the ship is on fire, and even then only if it nears my quarters. This unit is available to which member of the Incognito? Arbiter Rao shows a ready commitment to serving Arcadia. However, his loyalty to you is still under assessment. If forced to choose between this crew and the Protectorate, there is a higher than average chance he will defy you, Commander. Under such circumstances, this unit advises inflicting damage to his knees first to reduce mobility. Agent Delgado has asked that this unit not provide unauthorized updates on her aptitude or well-being. She instead requests that anyone wishing to form an opinion of her speak with her directly and within striking distance. Agent Delgado has also asked that the following addendum be provided. That last portion was a joke, to some degree. Multiple warnings have been issued to Deputy Agent Leitinger regarding knife safety, and all have gone ignored. This unit is ready to...
must admit to being highly vexed by this kill order situation. Of course not. What a ridiculous question. You think that I'm like you, but I'm no longer bound by social restraints or pedestrian things like regret. So were I even to imply I felt remorse, that I wish I'd perhaps approached this with a more logical bent and not slaughtered these loyal Dawn members, it would mean nothing. Such as? What do you need, Commander? Who exactly? Niles? He's fun to torment. I mean, he's equal parts enthusiastic and naive, even with all he's gone through. I find her amusing, in a best not to torment her or she'll kill us all kind of way, which I completely respect. Of course I do. What's not to like? To envy? Her style, her lethality? Oh, she's a professional for architect's sake. I wish I'd known about her department when I was growing up. Even as a child, I know they'd have seen my potential. Tristan's a standard issue arbiter, albeit with an extra slathering of arrogance, especially when it comes to ensuring the Protectorate's inane laws are followed without question. But as long as that ridiculously large hammer of his isn't pointed in my direction, I could watch him administer justice all day. Though he'd be loath to admit it, his propensity for violence almost matches my own. Not only does she possess more heart than your standard corporatist flunky, she's a great deal smarter as well. Don't tell her I said so. Such as? Are we standing around jawing? Commander? Such as?
Hostages went home safe. We'll see if those at the peace talks make it back fine as well. If x is the square root of -1 and you distribute the two binomials together, then the coefficient is... Oh, sorry. Help you with something? Happy to provide unbiased observational data. Ah, your young colleague. Competent, practical, crack shot. Saddened by his years of isolation, but also honed like me. He would be a formidable target of assassination. Oh, he seems like a nice young man, dear. You want me to say something nice, dear? He has good taste in adventure serials, I suppose. Otherwise, no redeeming qualities. She has an aptitude for killing, although it's quantity over quality with her. I'm glad she's on our side, but I'm still sleeping with my goggles on proximity alert mode. I must admit I wrote off these corporatists as shallow bit obsessed simpletons. I still do on average, but she falls far outside their norm. Her model is a design classic, and the aftermarket mods she received from Niles are most impressive. We'd be dead many times over without her. She makes me laugh more than anyone. Do you now? Let's hear it. Very well. Yes, dear. Anything on your mind?
Commander, if you've a moment, I wish to note my reservations regarding the Order member we seem to have brought into our fold. Setting aside my obvious concerns as an enemy of the Order, there's something devious about her. Something that sets her apart from her fellows. There is a bloodlessness to her nature. A killer's icy resolve. She's dangerous. That was all I had on that subject. Consider my concerns logged. Certainly. I consider my... This, I suppose there's something charming about its lived-in nature. Nevertheless, I have availed myself of the ship's cleaning supplies. Unsightliness is an enemy as sure as any other.